Paying $100+ for a AAA game for it to end up being a disappointment sucks. Whether it's from egregious and invasive monetization, needing to be online for a single player game, or absurd pre-order prices, it seems the AAA gaming space has been a cesspool of greed and shallow attempts at a quality product for what feels like a decade now. So if you're sick of that crap just like me, may I introduce you to the wonderful world of indie games. It's got a little something for everybody. Coziness, atmosphere, horror, action, comedy, immersion, or just some straight up fucking chaos. Indie games have been carrying the gaming sphere for a while now, and for some reason a lot of people are still hesitant to dive into them.
This sucks! Wait, what is that?
Give me some snacks!
What are you?
Looks like a bucket of diarrhea!
These games may not have groundbreaking graphics, a huge budget and fancy cutscenes, but where these games lack, they make up for it with their consumer-friendly approach, their passion that is present in every corner, and their completely dialed-in mechanical perfection. So let's take a look at some indie games that I'm sure are going to win you over. Taking one look at Mortal Sin, it's completely understandable that some people may be turned off because of its art style. But I assure you, this game has such a satisfying and addictive gameplay loop that you won't even notice it once you start playing. Mortal Sin is an intense first-person action horror dungeon crawler roguelike, that was a sentence, where you wield archaic, medieval and magical inspired weapons and abilities to hack and slash your way through the hideous monstrosities that plague the 4 different biomes in the game. Along the way, you'll collect randomly acquired gear and upgrades that make you stronger, and the developer has done a great job of letting the player really hone in on their own specific playstyle. Mortal Sin's combat is heavily focused around chaining together combos to build your combo meter, and targeting weak points on enemies to kill them as fast as possible through the act of dismembering. Chain together your kick, your dash, normal swing and heavy swing to perform a wide variety of combos that can even activate certain weapon abilities and work in tandem with your ability to parry attacks. You can slice off their legs and have them crawl around like an idiot, chop off their arms to render them essentially useless, or you can just go straight for their head. But sometimes that isn't even enough to kill them. Now, what helps to keep Mortal Sin's combat loop and gameplay so refreshing is the absurd amount of classes you can choose from. Every one of them has a completely unique and distinct playstyle, and the fact that these levels are all procedurally generated essentially means that this game has infinite replayability. You've got the Monk class, which specializes in unarmed combat, so if you don't like having to manage the durability of your weapons, this will be the perfect class for you. If you want to roleplay as an anime character, then you can play as the Berserker class, which uses giant swords that do massive damage, but they are also incredibly slow. There's a Vampire class that relies on lifesteal rather than your essence vials, a Reaper that has devastating sickles and scythes that create massive AoE damage, a Martyr if you're a goddamn masochist, or my personal favourite as of late, the Paladin, which uses a shield and a different choice of one-handed weapons. I really can't speak highly enough of this game, and it's been incredibly slept on. The amount of work and the amount of passion that this solo developer has done in the time frame that he's done it is astounding. Everything from the music, the combat, the level design, the art direction is incredibly unique and distinct. If you're into roguelikes and dungeon crawler hack and slashes, then definitely check out Mortal Sin. It's available on Steam for around $30. Coming in at number 2 is an incredibly fast-paced first-person shooter called Mullet Mad Jack that is heavily inspired by 90s anime and games like Post Void. Mullet Mad Jack burst onto the scene not long ago with its beautiful animations, addictive and freaking sometimes overstimulating gameplay that never gives you a moment to take a breath, and it's quickly shot into one of the highest rated games within the genre, with good reason too. The quality in this game is simply breathtaking, and it's honestly hard to try and find a fault in it. So what is Mullet Mad Jack, and what do you do exactly? Well, the premise is very simple. The game is set in a dystopian future where the world is run by these things called elite AI billionaires, and the human race is dependent on dopamine to live. You play as Mullet Mad Jack, and you're what is known as a moderator, and you're tasked with rescuing the influencer princess, but there's just one catch. You only have 10 seconds to live, and your entire life is live streamed to an audience which is used to siphon their dopamine into your bloodstream, which extends your life by a certain amount depending on your actions. Killing a dude will grant you 1 second, performing a finisher will reset the timer entirely, etc, etc, you get the idea. You fight your way through the levels, which are sometimes as short as 15 seconds, collecting upgrades, using a variety of weapons, dodging traps, kicking dudes into the traps, and I want you to make sure you're doing two things at all times: moving forward and doing it stylishly. This game is incredibly fast, and it may be tempting to complete these stages as fast as you can, considering the high pressure situation it puts you in, but I promise you it'll be 10 times more enjoyable if you pull off sick moves and combos instead of worrying about your time. The game even encourages you to do so. Mullet Mad Jack takes this very simple premise and does a great job of making it feel refreshing and not mundane by ensuring that all of the different weapons you choose from all feel impactful and satisfying to use. Not to mention all the different upgrades you'll find and all the different bosses you'll encounter as well. Mullet Mad Jack is a simply incredible game that blends traditional retro FPS mechanics with a 90s anime aesthetic. It has incredible writing, voice acting, music, animations, graphics, and its humor is very tongue-in-cheek. Mullet Mad Jack knows exactly what type of game it is, and it doesn't even try to hide from it. It's available on Steam for around 30 bucks. And lastly for today, we have an incredible game that's heavily inspired by Doom 2, with most of the development team actually being modders from that community. SUPPLICE is a stylish throwback shooter inspired by the mid-90s FPS glory days, and this game will bring you to the far corners of the universe as humanity has outgrown its home, and as a part of a terraforming team, it is your job to find and prepare new worlds for colonization.
Crap on a crutch!
That sounds a little grim, but just hear me out. SUPPLICE aims to be as faithful as possible to the feel of Doom 2, while making sure to bring their own touch to it in the form of the overall level design quality that really emphasizes a more lethal and faster approach to combat. The incredible sound design that's distinct and unique, the enemy design and enemy variety that keeps you on your toes, and of course the punchy moment-to-moment gameplay and gunplay. Every single one of the weapons you have feel meaty and fun to use. There's this certain distinct feel to each of them, and every weapon serves a purpose. Just fucking listen to this shotgun. SUPPLICE has a very lengthy campaign that is full of lore, detail, and thought put behind every prop, every sound cue, every corner of the lovely interconnected maps that all feel immersive and lived in. Now, I've seen some debate online that this game could have just been a free mod for Doom, but I think that's a little bit ridiculous. I think those people need to reel in their expectations to what developers should be giving away for free. The amount of polish and quality in this game, from everything from the sound design, the level design, the enemy variety, is all completely unique and is well worth more than the 30 bucks that they're charging. If you're after a game that is like a mix between Doom and Ion Fury, then I can't recommend SUPPLICE enough. It's available on Steam for around 30 bucks. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I am trying to do more videos like this, so if you enjoy it, please leave a like and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.